Hi and welcome to Retro Restos. Exciting day today. We've finished Project Fireblade, so let's take a closer look and see what was entailed and ask ourselves, was it really worth it? Stay tuned. The CBR1000RR Fireblade. This particular one is from 2007 in what is arguably one of the most beautiful colour schemes, the tricolor red, white and blue HRC scheme. I had one of these a few years ago. I wish I hadn't have sold it, but then we've all done that, haven't we, as motorcyclists? But the opportunity came up to purchase this crash damaged one a little while ago, and I thought it'd be a great project to share with you guys, and something fun to do and a bit of nostalgia for me, and also there may be a penny or two to be made in it. So that was the plan. When it arrived, actually there was considerable damage and extra damage which I hadn't been aware about, but anyway, she's all done now and good to go. So let's have a closer look and see what work we did. So I bought this brilliant little bike a little while ago from an online dealer that sells accident damaged bikes. This one was what we call a Cat N in the UK, which means that it's not structurally damaged and can be put back on the road as long as it is repaired appropriately and then subsequently deemed roadworthy for use. So here she is now after significant repairs, mostly sort of cosmetic damage, but I'll take you through that now. So when she first arrived, there was no screen at all and the front cowl was completely destroyed, it was obliterated. So I've managed to find a replacement one, second hand but excellent condition. The chap that had this one for sale also had the tail unit, which was equally rare and hard to get hold of, and he wasn't prepared to post it because of the fragility and value of the items. So we had a little road trip in the week, about 6.5 hours in the end, round trip, to pick up the parts, but well worth it because without it we could not really have completed the restoration. So that's all good. Moving around to the side, the ASV clutch lever is original. We've got the original panels to the sides, which is great, and I think the R&G frame slider really helped there with that. There was, however, cosmetic damage to both sides of the tank cover. Not massive damage, it was scrapes and scratches, but they damaged the decals underneath. By the time we'd gone to the sort of time, trouble and expense of trying to relocate those decals and having the thing sprayed up, we managed to find a second-hand one in very clean condition, so that was a bonus. Excellent stuff. So here's the tail unit, that was also replaced. As I say, that was from the chap who had the nose cone, so that was part of the road trip to Wales last week. That was worthwhile. I am just waiting actually for the new seat unit to arrive, because this one does have a bit of damage, but that literally just unpops and clips a new one back in, so that'll be fine. Now the biggest surprise to me when this arrived was, and those who have seen the early videos will remember, there was something like an 8 or a 10-inch split in the rim all the way around. It was clearly not going to be possible to repair it. I didn't know about the damage at the time, and fortunately, because it wasn't disclosed at the time of sale, I did have a nominal discount which did help me to at least put some money towards a replacement wheel. So we managed to find one in gold, which was no mean feat, but anyway, that's great news. So the tyre that was on there originally was a new one, so we've put that back on, so that's great too. And what else can we tell you? Pretty much everything else here is okay. We managed, again, the frame sliders helped because there's no damage to this fairing, so that's cool. Now most of the damage really was cosmetic to the front and the rear, as I say, but also it had taken a fall on the throttle side, and the handlebar was bent, and that had several issues which I'll explain now. So bent handlebar is one thing, but of course it has to be replaced. You'll never really get it straight, and it's more trouble than it's worth, quite frankly. Also though, we had damage to the throttle cables. They were bent and scratched. I did manage to bend them out so that the adjusters worked again, but of course they still looked a bit scruffy and not really the sort of thing that this bike deserves. In addition to that, the bike wouldn't start because the alarm that was in there was partly sort of ripped out and partly unpicked, so I had to go around and desolder the entire alarm to reinstate the original wiring loom. One of the things though was that the run stop switch was smashed as well, so obviously that wasn't helping to contribute to helping the bike start, so we weren't able to start it originally. However, we managed to get hold of some parts from Europe, and someone was breaking a bike, I think over in Poland, and he had the whole assembly. So we had the new handlebar with original grip and the throttle. So we had the bar end. What else did it have? The original push-pull throttle cables and the kill switch. Now, to get to the multi-plug for the kill switch and indeed to hook up the new cables, we had to get the assembly off here. So tank cover, tank up, airbox out, ECU, secondary fuel rail, injectors, all those bits and pieces have to come out as per my previous videos, and that allowed us to access the throttle bodies to hook up the new throttle cables, and also to hook up the wiring harness for the lights as well. Also, by the way, yeah, a new brake light switch on the front too. So whilst that was all apart, we had the air filters out. They were K&N filters, and we did a little video on that in the week. They were perfectly okay, just needed a bit of, well, quite a big clean actually, so we cleaned those out and used the appropriate K&N degreaser and re-oiled them. So they've gone back in. We've also given an oil and filter change, so that will keep her running nice and smooth as well. What else can I tell you? I think that's pretty much it really. So most of it was damage relating to this part, so throttle grips, handlebar, cable, switch gear, good service, replacement front plastics and screen, replacement rear plastics, new wheel on the back, and I'm just waiting now on the mirrors to arrive, which is why we've got these bolts sort of sticking out there. Everything else is ready to go, and once those mirrors arrive, hopefully in the next day or so, she'll be good to go, and we'll get her booked in for an MOT. Once she's got the MOT, she can be deemed perfectly safe, roadworthy and properly rebuilt, and then we can get her up for sale for a new owner to enjoy. So there she is. That's the 2007 Fireblade finished, and thanks very much for watching. If you've liked it or would like any more information, then please comment and ask me. I'd be delighted to share my experience with you. Please also subscribe for more updates. There'll be plenty more coming now. We're having quite some fun with these blades. We did one a couple of weeks ago, a CBR1000RR, which you may like to go back and look at. And we'll be having more fire blades coming through, because that really is our forte. We do love the Hondas. Yeah, if there's anything you'd like to see on the Retro Restos program, then please do give us a shout. We'd be delighted to hear from you. So please like, share, subscribe, and we'll speak soon. Thanks again for watching. Retro Restos out.